Just when you thought the governments of the day weren't or aren't fit for purpose, something else pops up which makes you feel like you're a useless nothing, except for when the elections come round and that charade takes place to give you the illusion that you do have a say as to how the country will be run. In the most extreme lack of communication in history, or was it, we were informed that 214,000 migrants were accepted into Britain under a scheme which didn't exist. I'm not even going to say this occurrence was dumb or stupid, because even now I feel these sort of things are happening on purpose. An EU settlement scheme was organised as part of the Brexit negotiations back in December 2020. It was closed down on in June 2021. That should have been the end of it, but the Home Office accepted late applications, and since that date, 5 years ago, 160,000 still managed to be able to get settled status in the UK, bringing with them 54,000 family members, reaching 214,000 up to present date. Just in the last 12 months, 66,000 new applicants got their legs under the British dinner table. They got benefits, of course they did, and free use of the NHS, of course they did. Student loans were also allowed, of course they were. Over the same 12-month time period, £4 billion of student loans to foreign nationals were given. Will these foreign students stick around to pay these loans back, I ask myself. Not too deeply. I'm not holding my breath for that one. Tory MP Neil O'Brien tried to make himself look a nice guy when he said the obvious. He said the system is riddled with abuse. No shit, Sherlock. Clearly the Home Office is asleep at the wheel, he also said. And these people are costing the taxpayers billions. No wonder national debt is so high.
Yes. Hmm. Yeah. There was a an expression I heard, yeah, when I was in my teenage years called "he's too consistent to be genuine." In other words, yeah, too consistent. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because oh, we made a mistake. Well, you keep making the same mistakes constantly. Yeah. Um, yeah, I know. Are we being lied to by our masters in the UK? No, not our masters. I don't consider them my masters. Our representatives in the UK. Yeah, that's what an MP is, and politicians should be representatives. Um, the answer to that is yes. We're not being well represented by our politicians. Um, yes, and they're doing it, in my opinion, like you, I think they are doing it deliberately. There is a policy to bring in um, outsiders into the UK general population. I don't know why. I mean, well, you could say population decrease, yada, 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 yada. Um, I think there's a deeper thing going on there. And it could be multifaceted reasons why. Yeah. And yeah, we've gone
Well,
over.
in this case, Mark, it isn't necessarily the politicians that are at fault,
Mm.
because this is done by the Home Office, and the people who work at the Home Office are
Mm.
not MPs.
Yeah, there still are servants, they're still public
Yes,
servants.
they're public servants, but I'm saying that they aren't MPs,
Mm.
and they don't have any vote in Parliament to change
No,
laws or anything.
no.
They just, if they want to go rogue, they go rogue until somebody sees that they've gone rogue. And it seems like in this case they've gone rogue.
Yeah, well, the problem with when they do go rogue is when a politician, the minister, tries to stop it, curb it, question it, they get accused of bullying or all sorts of other things, or they go digging around to find something to humiliate this person with, um, or probably threaten them on occasions. Remember, we had keep referring to it, the Yes Minister. We had a whole comedy series based around this. Um, yeah, Yeah, and I think yeah, it's a swamp. When we talk about establishment, when I talk about establishment, I don't just mean the top tier, the politicians. They disappear. They can disappear every 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, however. Yeah. Yeah. You've got an entire um administration in
Yeah,
effect. I
yeah.
know what you're saying here.
The
That
machine
is,
behind. Yeah,
yeah, that 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 is its own thing, and yeah, it's like from the most junior levels up to the most senior levels, we're all of one mind. We're going to do exactly what we want to do, and we're going to do what we need to do. The means justify the ends. I mean, they always argue that, oh well, yeah, we need to keep it consistent and everything else, but um, when it does go against what a majority of the people in the country, a majority of the people in the country believe, yeah, and I think I can say, I mean, can I speak for everyone? No. Um, from my reading of the situation and looking at polls and everything else about immigration, I think they and associated subjects, they are going against what the population who pay their salaries actually believe. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, they're doing it doing it all from their living room or their bedroom or wherever as well, or the golf
With,
course.
with,
Yeah.
with risk of sounding like other news organizations,
Yeah.
because news organizations, they tend to expand
Yeah.
on the situation. So, for example, this that was supposed to have been the offshoot of a Brexit, which was open for Europe EU nationals
Mm,
of coming to the of going to the UK
yeah.
and taking their families there. But now this article that I read was saying that people from Bangladesh and Pakistan and other places are marrying these settled EU people in the UK
Yeah.
through arranged marriages, through behind closed doors and under the
Yeah.
table and all that, so they can get their themselves into the UK too.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that although it is a symptom, it isn't resolving the problem. And
Mm,
the problem is that the Home Office is still doing this 4 years after
yeah.
the horse has bolted, if you like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And this is a great failure in the Home Office of the
Mm,
staff in the Home
yeah.
Office, and they need to try and sort that out. Doesn't matter who's coming to the
No.
UK.
Well, this is
It's just others outside the UK are turning up, right?
yeah.
Going through the channels,
Mm,
abusing the system. It's that people who are dotting the I's and crossing the T's in
mm,
in the Home Office
mm.
are so lax at what they're doing that they need to. I don't know if you need to get rid of half of them and
Well,
draft in another or whatever,
yeah.
but something needs to be done.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I've had experience of this firsthand when you talk about marriages. That I married my wife, who's Brazilian, obviously, in the UK, and I went to the registrar office. It wasn't in my hometown. I was living somewhere else at the time. Although, yeah, um, and we had to go because of yeah, she was from overseas. Um, we had to go and have an interview with yeah, a local civil servant. Yeah, and there's signs everywhere, and this was in a London borough as well. Yeah, so interesting. I wonder what it'd be like now. And there were signs there making it quite clear on the wall that they could actually interview you separately. Yeah, to find out if your story's collaborated.
Well,
Yeah,
they
yes,
had that game show on English TV, Mr. and Mrs.
I remember that. Yeah,
They
yeah.
were interviewed separately.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what it was almost like. You know, they could take it apart and ask you questions and everything else. I mean,
In that game show, not many people won the jackpot.
well, if you ask me a lot about my wife now, I mean, you've been married, yeah, and you've still got a relationship, yeah. What do us men really know? What about our
I,
missus?
I, the only thing I do know is that she still annoys me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of yeah. I mean, if you could be annoy each other and still be friends on any relationship,
No,
yeah,
we
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It that means it's working to yeah point. But um, yeah, it's. I mean, yes, yeah. What's the difference between my wife and myself? Well, she's a woman, I'm a man. Let's put it bluntly. That's not being male chauvinist. If you ask my wife, she'd be probably, yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, I'd ask my wife one day, can she just tell me everything that's wrong? So she said that she'd arrange a PowerPoint presentation on a Tuesday evening. I said, no, you're good. Yeah, we'll carry on as we are. Yeah, but yeah, um, but yeah, this. I mean, it's interesting when you're saying this about marriage. There were years ago there were strict rules, but like you say, when you're at the top, you can make any rule you want, any rule you want. If the people down beneath you do not adhere to it, deliberately ignore it, are not questioned about it, yeah, not disciplined for not carrying out the instructions, their bosses. I mean, that's the other thing. It's very, very difficult in the UK to probably remove a civil servant from their position, I sack them. Yeah. It's probably very, very different because they're so tied up with unions. And that's the other thing. They are so tied in with, I don't think this is even a left wing thing. This is a strange ideology that's been inserted in them.
Yeah, it needs to be said that this thing about the Brexit and these people moving into the UK,
Mm.
that it has bled over from the Conservatives to,
Yeah.
because we're talking 5 years, 4 or 5 years. So that, there's a 2 year, Labour have been in for 2 years,
Yeah.
around about that time, and the Conservatives were before that. So it's over both administrations. They're both as bad as one another.
Yeah. Um, I do think you had general ministers who moved in to try and resolve the situation. I mean, was it Priti Patel was one, and then Suella Braverman, and they had all sorts of things thrown at them and obstacles put in their way. I mean, I remember all this happening, and um, so it strikes me anyone you cert that. So when I'm being quite honest, when certain um, other politicians, we call them right wing, okay, or to the right. I think we've got to get away from this. But yeah, start saying we're going to sort all this out and all that out. Do they have a strategy to do it? Have they got any way of doing it? I know one leader, okay, Nigel Farage was meeting with Liz Truss, or had a meeting with Liz Truss last week, so I was reading, um, to find out what it's like to be the Prime Minister and the problems that there are with the.
Well, how does she know? She's not had any experience.
Liz Truss was a Prime Minister.
Yeah, for about a week.
Well,
And
this
the last person you'd ask, what's it like to be Prime Minister, is Liz Truss.
well, I did well, yeah, but she's been going around.
Ask somebody like, I don't know, Osborne or I don't know, somebody with long standing.
Yeah. Well, don't forget Osborne was probably part of the problem as well. I don't know. I don't know about yeah.
Depends what you're asking them. If you're asking what's it like to be Prime Minister,
Well, he wouldn't
she's
know.
the last person I'd ask.
Well, she's still there. She did try and do some things. She probably did try to do a lot more than a lot of others done in a very short time.
But once again, this problem, this specific problem,
Yeah.
is down to the people in the Home Office and
Well,
not
this is it.
necessarily
Yeah,
people.
but that's it. Had. It's not about smashing the gangs. It's about smashing our own internal.
I,
Um,
I think
uh,
the gangs are already in the Home Office, sir.
I think that, well, yes, I know what you're saying. Or influence. Well, maybe they are. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm actually saying. That there is an ideology. There's a certain thing that does appear to be there. There's certain influences. Um, I mean, maybe we've been a bit unfair on the last prime minister and the current prime minister and the previous prime ministers. Maybe there is absolutely SFA they can do about it all. Um, yeah, I mean,
They take on the job. That's what it's up to them to sort it out.
yeah, I mean, I'm being honest here. I mean, I did think about this the other day, and it's a frightening thing that the only way I could see that you could clear the UK is to have some sort of coup, clear out everything, have some sort of controlled administration, robust administration for a time. I think you know what I'm saying about with this, and then start from scratch somehow. Go through, have a complete clear out. Yeah, have a military, have a sort of cross between a military and a civil administration for 5 years to resolve it.